So the Rebbe continues. What is the Aved in general? What is the Aved of a person? He finds himself in this physical world. B'meilei, it seems to him, and he feels and he senses that he's a self-entity. So it's the Aved of dry land. Every person is only on the level of bitla yesh, which means the first level of nullification. Besides exceptional people, tzaddikim, righteous people, great sages, Kigon Rab Hamnuna Soba, which is mentioned in the Zayar, that he was called Hamnuna, because he was like Nuna, the fish that are in the water. The word Nune in Aramaic means fish. So he was like a fish in the water, breathing completely godliness, completely connected to godliness. Oy Rashbi v'kayetze bazeh. Or Rashbi, Rab Shimon ben Yochai, and similar to them. The Aleim Ne'amar v'yidgu l'orei b'kerev haaretz, which about them it is said, v'yidgu l'orei b'kerev haaretz, shegam b'yesem b'haaretz, hem b'chinas nunei yama de mahalchin b'yabeshta. That also when they are on dry land, their Aveda, their service, their commitment to Hashem is similar to fish that are living and connected with their source at all times. It is like fish that are walking on the Yabasha, on dry land, which means not so much bringing out the Yabasha, bringing out the word fish, because fish walking on dry land is gasping for air. We're speaking about here fish, but fish that are on dry land. This is the caliber of these tzaddikim. They are completely in a state of nullification to godliness. That what took place by the split of the sea, there was such a gilui, such a revelation, that when we say that sea was converted to dry land, this means in a spiritual level that what is revealed, what is always concealed, was revealed. What is always under the water was revealed. What is always concealed in the hidden worlds that are compared to sea were revealed. Revealed in this physical world.
That means not including only the water.
Including everything that is concealed by the same way that in the sea the water covers on its creations and everything that's within. In the same sense, in regards to Kriyas Yamsuf, that in the spiritual level, everything that is concealed was revealed. The Eidzes. And B'meila, what does this mean? It brought down a state of nullification here also, because it brought down a higher aura from higher worlds. Although the inyan of Yam, the topic of the theme of sea, shows on the level of nullification of entity, which the content of what its sea represents is that everything is covered, which means that they are not standing out as an entity for themselves. It is like the water covering the sea. The Rebbe says, in the sea itself, there's also two levels. One is the external part of the sea and the simple level of the sea. This feature in the sea is something that it is physical and it is measured and it is limited. It is an entity for itself. The inyan of Yam is the inyan of concealment. What is in the Yam is connected to its source. But the Yam itself, what is the Yam doing? It's concealing. So it's the opposite of revelation. And therefore we see also Tzemach Tzedek once said, and the Rebbe quoted it in the Sikha 21 years ago, when the Rebbe spoke then every night of Pesach, 1988, Tov Mem Ches. When it came to Shviyah Shel Pesach, the night before, the Rebbe was speaking about the union of Kriyas Yamsuf, splitting the sea. The Rebbe says, what does this mean in the life of every person? A person has to split the sea which conceals on his innermost, on his spirituality, and reveal it in such a way, godliness, that it should permeate his thought, speech, and deed, and his animal soul, and his body, that everything should be revealed in this physical world, as it took place by the split of the sea. So this is the theme of splitting the sea, which means the sea itself is only a shell that is concealing and covering up what is hidden. That this also accomplishes the inner part of the yam. What does it accomplish in a part of the sea? That it also accomplishes in the creations. What does it accomplish? They should all acknowledge and durchführen. They should all accomplish. See, the Rebbe is mentioning it in Yiddish. The Rabbi and Bechlal, whenever it came to a certain expression that cannot be expressed in any other language, even in Hebrew, the Rabbi mentioned it in Yiddish. And the Rebbe Rashab once said that when he heard this from his father, the Rebbe Marash, the fourth leader of Chabad, when he sometimes heard Yiddish words like, it's called jargon werter, words that are in Yiddish, these are words that really puncture the heart. So they were very deep words that went direct to the heart. So the Rebbe says the Lashon, they should all acknowledge and durchführen, they should also accomplish. They shouldn't be separated from the source that creates them. This is the union of the split of the sea, that the pnimisam, the innermost part of the yam, is being revealed. With this, we'll also understand the answer to the question that there's contradictory anthologist medrashim. Who is greater, the Yam or the Jewish nation? Hayam Yisrael, that although the whole world was created for the purpose of Yisrael, Jewish nation. From this we understand the elite quality of the Jewish nation. There is a difference between the external part of the Yam and the inner part of the Yam. When it comes to the external part of the Yam, over there Yidden stand higher than that level. So that's where Yidden are higher than the Yam. Mashenkin pnimis hayam, when it comes to the inner part of the Yam, malose godlam Yisrael, so its quality is higher than the Jewish nation. They are receiving from him, which this is that it reveals a higher level. It signifies a higher level of godliness, which contributes to the Jewish nation.
Are they comparing what's more nullified, the Jews or the ocean? Is that what
no, comparing more what's higher, what's greater, in the state of not so much in phrase of nullification, but in godliness, in the source. What source is greater? With this, we'll understand why it wasn't sufficient to only go through the exile of Mitzrayim as a preparation for Matan Torah. They also needed the inyan, the split of the sea. It wasn't enough to go through the furnace of Egypt and leaving Egypt, which refined the sparks of Kedusha, the holy sparks, but also needed to go through Mitzrayim, the split of the sea. Why? Torah accomplishes in the world two factors. Aleph, שגם במקום שבי יש מציאה של אילם ואודם וכולו, הנה במקום זה פעלס התורה והמצווה. ועד שממשיכים מהנפש הלקיס לנפש הבאמיס ולגוף הבאמי. That even in the place where there's a world and a person, so in this place, Torah and mitzvahs accomplish. To the extent that they draw down from the godly soul to the animal soul and to the physical body. The same thing is also his sharing world. Base, the lezo belvad shepealim ba'elam kifishu metzias b'fnei atzmei. Not only that they are accomplishing in world, as world remains an entity for itself, they accomplish that the world becomes carved out as a dwelling place for Hashem.